Hello, hello, hello. What a thing I've tried to catch up with. Hey, JJ. Holy moly. I'm shocked by the screenshots Uni showed you last night. Or not last night, the night before, was it? Was it last night? Yeah. Well, over the last 2 nights. What a load of effery going on. Jeez, man. I can't believe it. Like, if they literally do half the stuff that they've said. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, B. Dumb question again, but I'm going to say it anyway. How have you been? How are you feeling? I know, dumb question. I do it all the time, but I don't know how else to word it. Hey, Ria. Hey, who? And Katie being sued by Todd Christie. I think Todd Christie needs to think about himself going to jail with all his court cases that he's got to do. I think the last thing he wants to do is start playing silly fuckers with Katie Joy, to be fair, but I digress. You want to concentrate on the court cases you've got going on, guys. Hey, Chopper. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to concentrate on like the shit you've got going on with the court case rather than try to screw over Katie Joy. Like, my God. I just think it's all like the stuff that Uni was showing was absolutely just craziness. And I'm not even joking. I'm being deadly serious. If Cheshire was in front of me and said those things that she said, I would, somebody would be going to jail. For her to sit there and say, well, we don't know if it gets her up at night or if it keeps her up at night. Shut up, you privileged little girl that's had absolutely nothing ever happen to you. Just sit the fuck down. No one cares what you've got to say. My God, not a dumb question. Thank you so much for asking. Today isn't the anniversary of a little rough, but I'm hanging in there. We're thinking about you and keep praying for you, B. Cheshire was absolutely disgusting. Like, I don't care what you think about Katie Joy. Like, my God, could she act? In reality, could she not ooze white privilege any more than what she's doing right now? And I swear I would, nope. I would. She has no idea. Like, unless you've been through something like that, shut your fucking mouth. Just shut up, okay? Because you've got nothing better to say than sit there. And if it was, and everyone that was in that live and sat there and allowed her to say those things, like saying a damn thing, is freaking disgusting. Like, I am a survivor. I am a survivor, but yes, it still brings me up at night. I still wake up in sweats about it. So don't tell somebody who's a survivor of a SA, a RAPE, or anything like that how to feel. That's not okay, and I'm not okay with that. Hey, Joanna. Uni put a lot of work into that video last night, really eye-opening, and I hope people pay attention. Chopper, can you put the link for the video in the stream, please, if you don't mind? I'm just like, out of everything on there, like, don't get me wrong, I was quite disgusted about how they all sat there in a chat trying to, manipulate and like say that stuff about CP and stuff like that. That is disgusting. And I thought that was like the worst. And then something else came up and I'm like, no, it can't get any worse. And then it just kept getting worse and worse. Thank you so much, Chopper. It kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm like, and literally people were in that chat and did not say a dang thing. Like, you cannot judge someone on how they deal or what they deal or how they cope with their RAPE or their SA or anything like that, unless you've been in that situation. Don't speak on it, you know, and certainly don't sit there and try and be, well, we don't know how whether it keeps her up at night. Well, thank you so much, Chopper. There's the link to Uni's live. It's a super long one, but it is definitely worth watching. If you know, even if you go do it like I did, I should do it over a bit of time today, and I'm still not through the one yesterday yet because we had new windows and doors fitted yesterday, so my house was a complete wreck. But I'm still trying to catch up. But I was so mad after I heard some of that. I kept like throwing my phone on the bed, and I was like, I can't listen to it anymore. And fair play for Uni for sitting through it. And I think it was Navy Tech that was up there, and Ethan. Like, you know, fair play to them for sitting there listening to that, because that was just horrific to listen to. And how anyone now can literally go to their channel and sit and not say a word, but still sit there and criticize Katie Joy, but not say one word about the things that came out of Cheshire's mouth. I think that should show the community more about them as a person. Like Dottie could sit there and say she wasn't involved in all of this. It had nothing to do with the girl. We seen you in the chat. We see that you were fully aware of what was going on. We seen you in the chat. We seen you talking. They were there saying they're going to do this and do that and do the other. You were there. You were there. And another thing they kept saying, what was it? Oh, Tina needs this or Tina needs that. I thought Tina wasn't around. So why does Tina need all these things? I'm telling you guys, this is just so wrong on so many levels that it's gross to me. I'm sorry, but it is. When Cheshire was sat there talking and saying those things about Katie and about her RAPE, it's a good job she wasn't in front of me. Take that how you will, I really don't care. But it's a good job she wasn't in front of me, because I would have wiped that smirk right off her face. I can't believe more. I've been waiting all day thinking people's going to do lives about this, surely. Like, I'm not the only one that's going to be outraged about this. You know, all these people that are outraged by Katie doing something, all of these people are going to say something, right? Nope. Just more lives about Katie. And seriously, like, people, come on. If that Todd Chrisley really needs to think about, like, my God, like, think about the things you've got going on. It's so wrong. They all need to shut the fuck up. I agree, Joanna. Like, you know, one thing she said, and I could have cried if I was so, you know, when you cry out of anger, I was so angry. And I was like, okay, calm down, Joe, calm down. She turned around and she said, when she laughed at that girl, exactly, it was horrible. But she was just, oh, I can't even, like, just thinking about it just makes me want to, I can't with that girl. I just can't. It's like, not every victim is the same. And then, like, that poor girl cried and she was laughing and then saying, I'm not sorry. You're so mad you cried being there. That's what I was like after hearing what she was saying, Joanna. I was so mad. I was frustrated. I was angry. And just the things that were coming out of her mouth. And then she turned around and said, well, if you speak about it online, people have every right to question it. Excuse me? If I sit here and I discuss my story, that gives Cheshire the right to pick holes in it. You were all disgusting. Everyone that was on that panel is disgusting, and they need to have a look or add long look in the mirror, because if something, God forbid, ever happened to them or one of their family members, I'm sure they wouldn't think the same way. Hey, my Patty, I'm sure they wouldn't think the same way. Like, I can't. Because we speak about it online, that gives her the right to pick things apart. It is worse when Chesh still made her feel stupid, and then they were saying that they don't feel bad for laughing, the shameful and crying. Exactly. What I don't get in that video about KJSA is why they got the police report. Shouldn't have anyone been outraged when that happened and shut it down when it happened. Why wait till now? I don't know, B. I honestly don't know. I think it's absolutely disgusting. I'm more like, I'm not a little red fan. You know that me and her don't get on. But if I was her, I would be absolutely furious around about now, because it was clear that Erin completely set Little Red up. Let's do it on your channel. Let's show it all on your channel. And then I can say later on, well, I didn't do it. It wasn't on my channel. I never put anything up on my channel. They completely set Little Red up. 100%. Notice everyone was quiet nearly the whole time except Cheshire and Steve. I thought that was weird because they're all petrified to say anything. These people are trying to prove that they're innocent and make them look more guilty, in my opinion. I agree. Not question, listen, but what we do with our hearts. It's insane to me. I don't understand how, and if I was on a live with anybody, it could be my best friend, and they said something as dumb as that, I would hand their ass to them on a plate. Because it's so uneducated, so heartless, and so like she was just so blasé about it. Like, shut up, just shut up. And then to make that poor girl, that girl was crying because all of them burst into laughter and basically laughed in her face. And she's an SA victim. Like, you just laughed at somebody because she's having a reaction about something that happened to her, and all of you disgusting people laughed in her face and then made her feel stupid afterwards for the pleasure. JJ True, now Steve is getting hammered on Twitter this morning because of all his lies. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why that AZ girl had him on in the first place, to be honest. That was so wrong. It was so, I felt so bad for her. I did, honestly, because she had a reaction because she'd been in that situation. She'd been where Katie had been, and she had a reaction to that being brought up, and to them, for all of them just to laugh in her face and then literally say, even when you could hear her voice was cracking, she was crying, and they all just turned around and said, oh, I'm not sorry. Oh, actually, I take that back. I think Erin said that she's sorry, but I don't remember the others do. Steve's misses have people to preach at. Misses having people to preach at. That's true. But it's just disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm and I'm honestly believe that Little Red got set up. I honestly believe that. Nothing's going to change my mind. And I thought it at the time. Erin got those papers, but yet they did it on Little Red's channel. So Little Red got all the heat for that. And she's there laughing like, oh, well, I never put him up on my channel. We just talked about it. It was her. Look at Little Red. She's the one that put it up on her channel. It was her. Look at her. Excluding the fact that you're the one that gave it to her. So even I give Little Red shit for it, which I'm going to take back, actually. I still don't think that she should have. I think she should have realised. But Little Red do tend to do what others want her to do. His lies are easily proven. Oh, 100%. Uni literally, like, in seconds, diminished everything he said yesterday. And there was still people in that chat and in that Easy's chat, literally like criticizing Katie. And I'm like, my God, it's 2 years. Get over it. Like, come on. Seriously. If you don't like her and she doesn't like you, move the fuck on. I don't agree with everything she does. I'm damn sure she doesn't agree with everything that I do. But don't watch her. It is that easy. I listened for about 5 minutes not to shut it down. They are nauseating. Joanna, it's took me all day. You know what time it is here. And it's legitimately took me all day. And I'm still not all the way through it. But she doubled down on her channel. Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Because she thinks she's right. This is the person that thinks you can off children up to the age of 3. Come on. I can't love Little Red throughout all of this. She's the only one who has ever been mean to me. Oh yeah, I'm not saying Little Red's innocent, but I think in this story, I do. I don't know. I just think that it got put to do on Little Red's channel so that this Erin could sit back and do the. I didn't, because she said it on her live the other day. I never showed anything on my channel. We just spoke about it. I never showed anything. But if she had it on her channel knowingly, then she is an innocent. Oh, no, I 100%. I agree. She is an innocent. But I do think that she got fucked over. I do, honestly. I'm no Little Red fan, you all. Like, me and Little Red are far from even acquaintances. Like, we don't talk. But if I was Little Red, I would be feeling some kind of way now. And I hope she is. I hope she's feeling like, well, hang on a minute, I just got completely screwed. I think hi, Susan. I think it's they speak on these channels, Joe, the better. Give those investigators more information. It broke my heart for that girl. I found the laughs were fake too. It was done purposefully. Oh, 100%. I don't even care to listen to any more of it. They need to content to get the F off the internet. I agree, Joanna. They do. I agree, Susan, like 100%. They were like, it was like that cackly laugh, wasn't it? It was like that, as if we could go to Katie Joy. And it was like, I want to punch her in the face. And then just like all the other stuff then going on, like never mind what your thought is about Katie Joy or what she's done in the past or what she's still doing now or anything like that. Surely as a person, you can sit and go, holy crap, that's a lot for one person to have all these people coming at her and doing some really gross things, like, digging stuff up from 2 years ago. Wow, exactly. And they literally got files, like files. It's incredible to me. Who has files on their computer? Like Katie Joy's essay, Katie Joy's RAPE, like transcripts after transcripts of every single live she's ever done. What? I think it's hilarious that Little Red acts like the victim of Katie when she's really the one who created her channel. Katie, all the cult members just created whatever narrative. Oh yeah, 100%. And this is another thing where I said, about other people, you can't, just like I did. I started a channel, a hate channel, okay? Then when it comes and it happens to you, you realize that, fuck, that's not very nice. And I only had a very small bit in comparison to what Katie Joy have dealt with for these last 2 years and continually deal with. Do you mean there's still people like talking about stuff that was said to them 2 years ago or a year and a half ago? And I'm like, oh my God, are you still harping on? Like, get a grip, come on. And like people in glass houses really shouldn't throw stones. But I do hope that there's consequences for Little Miss Noble, Tina, Dottie, and that Dustin. I hope that there's criminal charges. I do. They want the cult member following along. I think that cult members get in lower and lower boxes and boxes. True. It breaks my heart that they're so mean to each other. Okay, let me ask you them. Do you all think that Steve is behind all of this stuff? Do you all feel like it's like that cult and he's the leader? Did you hear Uni say on last night's live, someone backed out of that group and is giving Uni all the screenshots? It's just a matter of time, I assume. Oh, I think it's only a matter of time. I think more and more people are going to come forward. I do. I do. I think it's only a matter of time. Joanna says, yeah. I don't know what other word you would call it. I think that's my problem, is like, what other word would you call it but a cult? Like, Steve literally gives his little orders to all these girls, and it always seems to be girls with like daddy issues or girls that have had issues, you know, that he sort of comes in, manipulates and gets them to do all his dirty work. And he did it with other people, you know, he did the, oh, well, you know, if you help me, I'll get you more subs to from when I get the great debate back, you know, a good old fashioned gangster. Yeah. I've gotten to know some people who have gone after Katie and now feel remorse, and I want to help with the healing for everyone. I think it's a lot. It's just a lot. And I just think everyone's forgetting that, you know, people who are in these chats, that are still people going after Katie over the stupidest little thing. Like, if she does something on her channel, then criticize. I've got no issues with criticizing it. I really haven't. But criticize it. What issue I do have is if you're going to do a live after a live after a live after a live, completely and utterly diminishing everything about her as a person, that's disgusting. Absolutely, Joe. SM couldn't speak, act, or do anything. He legally couldn't. So, as AZ said, he gave in to his housewives to do. Yep. I agree. I agree. And I think a lot of these girls are bored. Like, you know, we've been on lockdown for the last, what, year and a half, and most of them are now at home and they're probably bored shitless. And he's got away with words. He's definitely got away with words, you know? And I know how he works because I was there when he was doing this to other people. I'll help you get Katie. I'll help you get her. And then, you know, when I get the great the non sequitur back, I'll have you on and you'll get loads of subs and, you know, we can help each other. And Steve is one of the ringleaders, but someone is much more tech savvy than Steve will ever be. He is very manipulative. I agree, Joanna. I asked AZ to ask SM the definition of doxing. I was shocked by his response. I first had to stroke his ego. Yep. But he is like, he says that he never doxed anybody. That's a complete lie. He put Katie Joy's LLC stuff out. And then as soon as he done it, everyone else done it. I'm sure Uni's got the screenshot somewhere. I'm sure that Uni's got the screenshot somewhere, actually. I'm confident to that fact. But the fact that nobody else said a word when him and Cheshire were being RAPE apologists, and that's what they were, and I'm not going to take that back. They are RAPE apologists. This is the second time for SM that's been an apologist, and now she's doing the same. So they deserve each other. Uni has so many screenshots and videos. I watched them. Yeah. But it's funny because Tina says that she doesn't really know Little Miss Noble. Yet 5 months ago, she's telling her, I love you in a comment. Okay. Hey, Krista, how you feeling, girl? I just think if this doesn't make you think like, holy crap, like that, I actually feel bad for Katie for all the crap. I just think there's something wrong with you at this point, you know? Steve didn't put KJ's address out, Red did. Oh, okay, sorry, I'll take that back. I thought Steve did it. Thank you, Funk. We're talking about all the stuff on Uni's chat the last 2 days on Rock-A-Lot. And then Cheshire was talking complete crap. Steve is a very smart man, knows exactly what the F he is doing. He gets the info as the wives spread it. Yep, I'm hanging in there. I'm coming back to stream daily. Good for you. When I asked about doxing, I cancelled my Twitter and Instagram. I don't blame you. Thank you for the super chat. I don't blame you though. Like, it's scary, man. I definitely regret not coming on as a Chrissa exposed kind of thing. I do regret not doing a pseudonym. Do you know what I mean? Like, not coming on as myself. I was genuinely just thinking that it was okay. It's not that bad. I'll just come on as myself. And I definitely regret doing that, you know, because I made it easy for people to find, you know, my child abuse and stuff like that, you know. Patty, the way he would answer in his cocky way. Of course he did. Hey, Ria, good to see you. Did he reshare it though or not? Because I had this thing that he did. Joe, can you still change that today? You know, it's never too late. Yeah, true. Everything's out there about me. They put my child stuff out. You know what I mean? I actually made my channel a subcorp. It's now Crystal Exposed Inc. Ooh, check you out, girly. That's amazing. I've gone back and forth, Susan, on my names, and I've just ended up coming one big circle and back to sipping tea with me. So it is just one of those things, like, you know, is that I end up doing a big, massive circle and end up circling back to just this. I've tried, oh God, I must have tried about 4 or 5 different names and nothing sat right with me and ended up just backwards to sipping. No, he didn't. The screenshot show he sent it in a DM. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, I'll take that back then. I'll take that back. Yeah, I'm a sub to Chris. I sub to Chris are exposed as well. I have big plans for my channel. Ooh, exciting. I'm a sub to Chrissa. Me too's. I very rarely catch her lives, though. I always end up having to watch them on replay. I do always go, though. I do always. Chrissa, you have always paid attention to the business end, and it has served you well. Oh, yeah, for sure. I just... Ugh. Do you think people are going to start sitting up now and seeing what these people are like, or do you think that they're just going to make excuses because of who it is? Like, if it was anybody else on the internet that they were like talking about someone's RAPE like that, there would be uproar. But yet, because it's hers, it seems to be okay. Do you know what I mean? I'm so proud of Uni taking this all. He's got so much integrity and cares about YouTube. I agree. Me and Uni doesn't always see eye to eye. We do sometimes not see eye to eye, but on the most part, I do. The only thing I didn't like recently, and I tell you know what I'm like, I gotta tell it, is that I didn't like when he was like, have criticized Katie, don't go criticize a look. It's a bad look for a man to sit there criticizing somebody's looks, you know? But that's the only thing in criticism I've had of him lately. And I think he needs to stay on this. He didn't start this as in like he started it, but he started doing this and showing everybody. I think it's only fair that he takes it to the end now. He's proved they're scammers. He's proved that they're disgusting liars. And I think he's going to literally take this to the end and just do whatever it takes to get them prosecuted to the highest level. Like, I really do. I think it needs to be. This is our home. You can't change our address. I know, right? We just all end up in here just chilling and talking about crap. But I got to be honest, I was really mad at Cheshire last night. I was so mad. I was, oh my God. I don't agree with the obtaining reports, but the issue seems to be that she lied about the investigation called the Leo out by name. I don't know. Law enforcement officer, does that mean the law enforcement officer? Right, okay. Again, though, right, I understand what you're saying, right? But I think if you speak to people who are in that situation and they don't get the outcome they want, as in like a what's the word, like a conviction and stuff like that, you end up blaming somebody. But again, I don't think it's Erin's place to do that. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's her place. Thank you for the super sticker, Joanna. Because Salty's involved, Joe, it won't go away, in my opinion. This will be an investigation to the fullest. I could sense the scare, that group. Oh, he does. Also, she won't stop talking about it. I think the thing with me is that not about the police officer part, because I do kind of understand where you're coming from with that. I still don't agree, but I'm trying to understand a little bit, okay? But as far as like changing your mind and like not realizing like, what's the word, like when you like in my case, right, Frank, if you went back and got my report to how I tell it now, I can guarantee there'll be inconsistencies, 100%. I can't tell you what, but there'll be inconsistencies for sure. I was curious if you would be interested in doing a live panel with me and a few others. I'm game, yeah. Just tell me when, and if it's going to be late my time, just give me warning, and I'll have an afternoon nap. I'm definitely up for that. I'm always up for that. I love panels. I called Erin out for it. I don't agree with it at all. I agree, Frank. I agree. It all happened to her. It's her story to tell, no one else's. Yeah. Uni's hatred for Steve trumps everything. He will for sure take this to the end. But I don't know if anybody else heard this. Please tell me. And thank you for being around so you'll know. But people are saying that they tried to go on a live with, and no, sorry, they oh, what am I trying to say, Joanne? Think your freaking words. Right, okay. Somebody is saying that they took Salty's children and put their faces on images that are not great. CP, for example. Surely that's producing child P, right? But is that true, or is that just people's running away with them? Okay, Kristen, no problem. Because I don't know. I just feel that it's like, I don't know. I just feel like it's not, I can't explain it. Like, if they did do that, or is it just people's mind running wild and them saying like, oh my God, they even did this. Like, do you know what I mean? Hey, Yaya, welcome, babe. It did happen, but don't know who. It's not literal, but not literally actual CP. Okay, thank you, Funk. I knew you would know. That's pretty gross, isn't it? Taking kids. Oh, my goodness. I think, honestly, and I know there's going to be people that's going to disagree with me, but Tina and Erin, they've been so obsessed with KJ for such a long time. And then in those screenshots, it was like, Tina wants this, Tina wants that. Could you do this for Tina? And I'm like, I sure wouldn't put it past them if they can laugh like they can proceed. These viral pictures, gross. I'm lost in this story. Watch Krista Exposed, I was going to say then. Bloody hell. Watch Uni's live, Krista. It just seems, oh, just nasty, man. I can't. And like Susan said, like, just the stuff like them laugh, and they all collectively cackled like a bunch of fucking hyenas. They just cackled at this girl, and then even when you could hear it, you could hear her voice cracking, and you could hear that she was crying. She said that took me back a little bit. I'm a little upset, and Cheshire's there with a fucking grin on her face and was like, I'm not sorry. And there's Steve, no, I'm not sorry. My God. Yeah, but that's Little Miss Noble. She's a proven liar who used people's names a lot. Can't be trusted. Very true. Okay, I'll give you that. That's very true. It would only be CP if the child were in the act, because it's just normal family pictures. It's not CP, but it is disgusting anyway. I agree, B. I agree. I don't know. Or ignore and be there. I keep meaning to turn it off. I gotta go and turn them off. Actually, I could probably. No, I can't. Oops, I can't demod them. I wonder if I could do it from my other phone. I don't know. I just think it's so weird. It's just, the whole thing is weird to me. Like all of this, and like they're very brave, these people. If you think about it, they've not just like gone after Katie Joy anymore. They've gone after a friggin' an officer of the court. Do you know what I mean? This isn't just a Katie Joy thing anymore. They've gone after an officer of the bloody court. He's not going to let this go. And I swear to God, I pray and pray that there's going to be what's it called? Hang on, let me just try and do this, see if I can take StreamYards off mod, remove mod. Wait, that should be all right now. Hi, Beverly. Ain't you so grateful that you got out of that Facebook group when you did? Oh my God, so thankful. Like Tina offered me that group. She offered me that group afterwards, and I was like, it's tainted. Roadhog the trucker who read 4 pages of KJ's alleged SA report was given the papers by Erin. Allegedly, why is she doing this? I don't know. Those people are in the dark hearts, believe that they are doing nothing wrong. That's how sick it is. So sick. I'm just, I'm glad, even though I took a lot of shit, I'm glad that I got out of that hate Katie rampage that I was on, I suppose, just because I just think it's so icky. Okay, Krista, it's so icky that it was no longer just showing her bad behavior. It was a case of everything, and I found myself being just as icky. Like I found myself sitting there going, my God, what am I doing? Like, why do I care? And it's not right. It's not right. And this is carried on and on and on. And there's still people who set up their channels like that have got fairly high. If they took their hatred for certain other creators away from them and just did their content, they would probably be, way higher than what they are. But they're just so hung up on certain people that's like done stuff to them. How everyone doesn't realize what Erin is doing is beyond me. I don't know, JJ. I think she's gross. I think I just took StreamYards off. I think you'd have to put a full stop or comma and see if it tells you off. But I think I just did it. Oh man, I just think it's crazy. But everyone's still watching Erin. Everyone's still like subbing to her and, in her chats when she's live. And I'm like, why? What? As a woman and as a survivor myself, nothing she could say would ever make it okay for what she did to me. Do you know what I mean? She makes excuses for awful behavior. And she still feels she's above the law. Like she feels that she is above everybody. She's smarter than everybody in the room. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I get from her. Not everyone, not me. That's true. No, I was literally only got a little bit. JJ, that interview with you on Erin's channel was gross too. She was right up nasty about Ab's hateful, that chuckle behavior. Yeah, I think I did it. I think I got rid of Streamlabs. I just don't get it. I'm a JJ. I don't understand. I don't understand how they can possibly think that this is okay. I've had people tell me that changed their minds about her. She couldn't answer questions that I had, and she looked like a fool. She's disgusting. I guess she's done using Ren and moved on to this bozo. Exactly, Yabba. Joe, you thought you were defending someone you loved. I know, but I'm still dumb. And that's been my thing my whole life. Like I've always got into fights, and I've always it's always defending someone else. It's never defending myself or never like standing up for anything. It's always been me defending someone else. So I'm used to it. I think that Erin trying to pull off the comedy show, but at least people at other people's expense. I find it funny. Most do not. That's why her channel hasn't grown. True. Erin will shout out to her members, I cancelled mine, not sure why she still says my name. I cancelled my sub too. It'll say it till the end of the month, Susan. I'm going now. Have a good day, everyone. Erin's to run. Love you, Joe. Love you, Joanna. I'll speak to you in a little minute. I'll message you in a bit. Well, after I've done this and after I've had my food. Real Entertainment News was a liability to Erin. She has no problem disregarding people and when they stop being useful. Oh, I agree. She's going to be under SM's wing now. She's going to be under there doing what she wants to do. She called me out on Twitter, but it wasn't truthful, so I came back at her. Good for you, yeah. She thinks she's smarter than everybody else, and I'm not saying that she's not smart by any stretch. I'm sure she is a very intelligent girl, but you're coming across like you believe that you can get away with absolute murder and nothing will ever happen to you because, I'm special and nothing ever happens to me. But I think you can have a sharp shock, or I pray that you can have a sharp shock, because I literally think that there's going to be real consequences for some of these actions. Like, there really is. Like, she was on that live yesterday or the day before, and she did not say a dang word that about Chesh saying those things. We put RSA or RAPE up, so Chesh has every right to criticize. Are you effing kidding me? Anyone notice these channels can't get past 2 or 3 just saying they will never grow? Look how those that grow. Mr. Beast gives a huge heart. Yep. And that's something that I've said as well, Susan. Like, I've never bought subs. I've never, ever, ever bought a sub. And I lost a good few hundred a few months back. And slowly but surely, I'm building myself back up again. But there's no point buying subs, it just doesn't work. And and out of those 2 or 3 thousand subs, a lot of them are just waiting for the train wreck to happen. They're just waiting for that train wreck. They're waiting for that shit show to happen and I do it as well. I'm just as guilty. When shit goes down, we can't help but watch the train wreck. Do you know what I'm saying? And even though I hate to admit it, I never watch it live because I need to take my time. I've missed loads of things like that's been put up and then they've took them down because I can't watch it all the way through in one go because my phone would be at the window. I'd be lobbing my phone. I'd be like, no, It's just weird to me. It's just too weird. I'm sorry. I just think it's all just too much. I can't. I can't. I can't get my head around it, I suppose. I don't know who made Erin this high almighty that has a right to say whether KJ's RAPE was true or not. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't. I remember I had to go at the officer and the prosecution that did mine. I was so mad. I was like, because with mine he only got 10 years on the offenders register and like 100 hours community service, no jail time. And I was furious. And I was like, you did a shit job. You had all the evidence there in front of you. And I was furious. And I think if I had a YouTube channel talking about it at the time, I probably would have said some nasty things about the officer and about the prosecution. Now, it doesn't bother me so much, but it did back then. I was furious. I sub to everyone. I love Steve, but I do not sub Chesh. Yeah. And that's okay. Like, that's okay. And I understand. I mean, I'm having a bit of a bitch right now, but that's fine. Everyone's entitled to go where they want to. But I'm not going to lie, that pissed me off yesterday or the day before. She has no right to talk about somebody's RAP like that. Like, she really doesn't. And then to say something like, oh, well, if you speak about it, that gives me the right to criticize it. No, the fuck it don't. To fuck it do. No, it does not. Like, no, I'm sorry. And even Steve said, I wouldn't have done it. Like, I wouldn't have got a report. And I think like there needs to be a change in the states that people can get somebody's RAPE report. There's got to be something. They've got to be. There's got to be a change that things like that, because she not just outed who it was, but she put it on a monetized channel. She got paid, not just AdSense, but other like super chats and stuff for criticizing somebody's RAPE. And I'm sure the people at AdSense would be very, very upset to know that she's there literally obtained somebody's RAPE dockets so that she can put it on a monetized channel. Just saying. Steve needs to get back into his first love of science, in my opinion. I agree. She childish, reminds me of a teenager. She's never grew up. She's when she just some of the things she said, Funk, like think about it. She said, I don't believe secondhand smoke is a real thing. What? Huh? She thinks that babies below the age of 3, if there's something wrong with them, you can, make them not be here anymore. Steve's Facebook group took over his original content. I agree with that 100%. I periodically go back and forth on subscribing that I never listened to, but I think a lot of people actually forgot that they're subscribed to people. That's true. Unless something happens, like with me, and I lost like however many hundred subscribers, and like I'm back up now and above what I was originally. But unless something like the creep show, do you know what I mean? Like unless something actually happens, I think people would forget to unsub. They just don't watch anymore. And a lot of people now are doing that chat that unless you're subscribed, you can't chat. So that's a new thing on Bugger on YouTube, which is, it is what it is, I guess. A couple of years ago, I thought she had potential, but I changed my mind. Wouldn't be surprised. In my opinion, if Steve was not so close to the anti-KJ community, he would be over 2K plus subs. That's the thing, and I've said this over, and I've said this way before as well. He had a channel, right, that literally he had the people from the non sequitur channel, not all of them, but a huge percentage of them. He could have carried on doing what he was doing there, but no, instead he wants to be in the drama, and he can sit there all he wants and say, I don't do drama, I'm not into this drama community. Well, all your freaking friends are. Every single person you align yourself with is in the drama. Yes, people can have thriving channels without all the sneaky backstabbing. Yeah. And I've had to learn my lesson the hard way with that. Do you know what I mean? Like I've done some shitty things. I've said some shitty things, and I've had to learn the hard way for that. But for people then to, do what they do with Katie and keep literally like bringing it up, or, bringing my name up in chats and, oh, well, she did this and she did that. Like, get over it already. Jesus Christ. I'm not doing anything. I don't talk to anybody. I got a very, very, very small circle of friends, and I don't talk to literally hardly anybody. I don't talk to anybody. Like, all these people like real thought I was talking to Charlotte. I wasn't. After what he said, I did. I went and spoke to her to make sure she was okay. I went in a chat the other day just to check on her and just see if she was okay. But we don't go back and forth talking like people think. Like I did. I went in because I wanted to make sure she was okay. It was just a shitty thing that people happened to her. I think Steve, within his rights to defend himself, drama or not. No, I agree. She looks like my brother. Oh my God. I just think she haven't grown up. I think in that sense, I think you're right. I think she's stuck as that child that has not grown up any. Is it buffering for anyone else? Okay. I was worried then. I was like, huh, try going in and going out and coming back in, Rhea, it might help. But I think another thing, no, I am going to say, and you are right, Funk, and I do agree with you. Another thing, though, is he inserted himself into this drama community by trying to go after Katie. He inserted himself with Leslie just to get to Katie. Do you know what I'm saying? So he inserted himself with all of us in that drama community. We got storms coming on the weekend, Rhea. I think you might have as well. I think it's coming from here to yours directions, from what I think, or maybe from you to us. I don't know, I can't remember. But I do agree that he does have a right to defend himself. Everyone has the right to defend himself. But I also do agree, or do think that he inserted himself with the whole, like, trying to get at Katie. You know? Susan, if Steve would have gone on with the non sequitur and start over, I think he'd be fine. He's just too emotionally invested in everything to do with that channel. But he had two channels to choose from. He could have carried on with the non sequitur stuff, like, and been doing good, like really good, like really, really good, like real decent money. But instead he just wants to be in the drama. I don't get it. I don't think he's smart enough by himself. And I'm sorry. I know that's gonna like upset people, but I don't think he's smart enough. I don't. He tries to use big words and sometimes he even uses them in the wrong place. He doesn't know what these words mean sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's true, but KJ inserted himself into the non sequitur and also lobbed an unsustained allegation towards him. Now, see, I don't think it's you're gonna make me say that word again now, aren't you? Dang it! I don't think it's unsustained though, Mother. I don't. And as far as her insert himself in the non sequitur, she got invited by the owner, so I don't think that's necessarily inserting herself. He got invited by Kyle and they were doing their own thing, which had nothing to do with Steve, you know. But I think he's already said it. He said it on a live. I'm saying penis again. Oh, but this time I'm saying it on a live. I'm not saying it on a pre-live. Hey, Colleen. What I missed. We're talking about yeah. Thank you, Susan. We're covering the video of Steve's team the other night. Did anyone hear Todd Christie filing a lawsuit against KJ? We did hear about it, but I don't know if it's true or not, Colleen, to be honest. Like, he needs to concentrate on what suits he's got at the moment. He's looking at time in jail. I think you need to look at yourself first, mate, before trying to fuck with other people. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, I did. Somebody sent me the because you know I shit at Reddit. I'm gonna learn Reddit if it's the last thing I freaking do. I'm still shit at it though. But somebody sent me a thing. Yeah, I have to agree. It is. It is. It is like, dude, like you need to concentrate on the shit you've got going on. You're looking at years in prison. I believe that Steve thinks he has. Oh shit! I was reading the wrong one then. Sorry. I believe that Steve thinks he is the godfather of the anti-KJ movement. So if anyone would join it, he would feel the need that he paid homage to him because he is the founder in my opinion. I agree. Yeah, she said she accused him of fund of something which had nothing to do with her, and there's no evidence to support her allegations of Steve's Ari. But again, though, Funk, I'm going to disagree with you on that one. Is so, you know, on the most part with SAs, RAPEs, there are very, very limited sometimes evidence, but I wouldn't want, I'm not going to be that woman that's ever in a million years, as a survivor myself. I am never ever going to be that person who don't believe another woman who said that. I'm sorry, I'm not. Social Security Fund. If you literally, Shannon went into a live and said, Steve, didn't Kyle offer you the money and you couldn't take it? Steve said yes, but I thought he was going to bring cash. Now, what does that tell you? Because that tells me a lot. I'm listening to his podcast from yesterday. Colleen, it was bad. Like Cheshire said that if somebody brings up their SA or RAP, that gives her every right to criticize it. But I'm never gonna not believe a woman. I'm sorry, or a man for that matter. But I'm not going to be that person that does not believe a person that's been SA'd, SH'd, RAP'd. I'm not. I'm not. There's too many of that around that people want to make, want to be RAP apologists and make like, oh well, she was wearing a short skirt, or they were talking about this, or they were talking about that. Do you know what I mean? I'm never going to be that person. I'm sorry. And that's okay for you to feel like that. I'm just not going to be. He wanted to see the financial records before he accepted the final offer, as I understand it. No, thanks. That's not what happened at all. That's literally not what happened at all. That was way later on. He wanted cash under the table. He says it in his own words. He was live on a screen. You've seen him say, no. And then later on, he says, it would have affected the surgery that I needed. And I thought he was going to bring cash. Who brings cash? Come on. Mother Funk, what if it was Aaron was in a live and Stephen Aaron said that she wasn't comfortable and was SH? Would you need evidence? I'm just curious with peace and love. And that was the same stream. No, if you listen, go back and have a look at that stream. Let me know what you think though, right? Go and listen to it. When Steve's talking, he's flustered and he's like, yes, but I thought he was going to bring me cash. We never discussed it after that. And then Red's rhetoric comes on and gives him a little out. Yeah, but we're not going to take any money because Shannon said, so he can send you the money right now. And he says, no. And then Red says, no, we're not accepting the money now because we didn't see the books. But that's not what he saw. That's not what he saw. That's not what happened at all. Red's rhetoric came in afterwards and gave him a little bit of an out. To be honest, I don't trust Aaron to be truthful either. I would just never not believe somebody. I'm sorry, I can't. I saw that video too, Joe. It is. It's what he said. He said, I couldn't. Shannon turned around to him and said, Steve, did Kyle offer you the money and you couldn't accept it because of some insurance? And he said yes. And then she said, and then he said, oh, but I thought he was going to bring it in March when we met up in cash. And then that's when Red started coming in and saying, oh, well, no, we're not going to accept anything now, because Shannon had said, what about if he sends it to you right now? And then that's when Red was like, no, we want to see the books. We want to see the books. I saw that video too. I have understood it like Joe says too. He couldn't report the funds. SM had to have it in cash. Now, if somebody says in a live, in their own words, I thought he was going to bring cash, that says a lot. Doesn't that say a lot to you guys? That would say a lot to me. Why would you need it in cash? That's weird. Who pays cash nowadays for anything? No. It's the other way. It's the other way, Funk. Steve said on that live, I thought he was going to bring cash, but nobody's going to hand cash over. And Kyle asked him on that message as well, have you filled in a something 10? I'm guessing that's a tax something in America. And he was like, no. Go and rewatch it. Send it to me as well, Funk. Send it to me on, I'd have to log into Twitter. Send it to me on Twitter so that I can rewatch it as well. But I'm 99.9% sure that he wanted cash under the table, and because it was something about an operation, and he wouldn't have had it done because he couldn't earn too much money. And this is what he said on the text message as well, saying, Kyle had asked him about the taxes. Thank you, babe. It was something about Kyle asked him about taxes. Have you filled in a something 10 or something like that? I might be saying that wrong, so don't quote me on that. And then he said, no, you know that I can't earn too much money. So that means he can't earn too much money because he's on some kind of something. And then I remember him saying later on, I needed surgery and I was worried about the money in the surgery. Send it to one of my Twitters. I can log back into Twitter to get it, Funk. Thank you. Just so that I can be sure on what I'm saying as well. But I'm 99% sure that what I said was accurate, but I will review it again. And if I'm wrong, I will definitely come back and say that I was wrong. Oh yeah, for sure. No, if I'm wrong, folk, I'll definitely come back and say that I'm wrong. I'm not too proud to say that I was wrong at all. But that's how my memory is, that I remember it like that. But I'll definitely rewatch it again just so that I'm remembering it correctly. Do you know what I mean? And I think Uni showed the text message of that yesterday. It was something like a something 10 or something. Is that the insure tax thing in your state? I know you will, Joe. Me too. I think, and I think is you see it as well, Funk, is I think because of my dislike for Steve and your like for Steve, I think it'd be quite fair to say that we both would probably see it a little differently anyways. Does that make sense? I would automatically think him being in the wrong. You would automatically think him being in the right. Tin tax ID number. Oh, okay. Thank you. I knew it was something like that. I couldn't remember. Joe, I'm 99.9% sure you're correct. That's what I was. I will rewatch it though, and if I am wrong, I'll definitely come back and I will 100% say that I was wrong on that part or I was right or whatever, you know? But I just remember it like that. Oh, I thought it said 10 something. It was a TIN, a tin. Oh well. Colleen, I remember it like you and Joe. Yeah, me too. I do remember it like that. You can't make over a certain amount when you're on Medicare or Social Security. And it was something about he had a surgery coming up from recollection. And I think that came out of his mouth later on stream. It was like, no, it was because I had surgery coming up and I was a little worried or something like that. But I don't know. I just think it's weird. I think it's weird, weird, weird. Just 2 seconds. I'm just going to be on silent. Sorry about that. I was just asking Carl if he had put the garlic bread in. I need garlic bread. Just to be sure, all take care of yourselves for the walks and hydrate a lot. Oh God, yeah. Walk away from YouTube for a minute so I can get you'll feel good back after a lot. after all. Yeah, I agree. I do that at night, Susan. I take my dog out at night. We're doing it later at the moment because obviously it's still quite warm. So we're doing it later on. And it's really cool out there and are so good. But we're having a storm on Saturday, so our temperature's going to drop. I can't wait. Since it is golden or garlic bread heavenly, I know I'm dying for garlic bread. This is correct, Colleen. Being a co-owner of a company, he couldn't have paid himself in installments as it's not contribution to his medical, which is completely legal. He could have paid himself in installments. Okay, sorry, I misread that. Sorry. Hang on, let me reread that so that I'm not messing up what Funk is trying to say. That is correct, Colleen. But being the co-owner of a company, he could have paid himself in installments as it's not disrupt his medical, which is completely legal. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I see. I will admit I don't know things about the States. I just remember the 10 something, but it wasn't. I said that wrong, but you know what I meant. But he wanted cash. He wanted cold hard cash in March. And Shannon literally was like, okay, so if he pays you now, and that's when Reds was like, no, we want to see the books. Because Red's rhetoric was all up in it. Rear, except when watching Joe laugh out loud. Don't walk away then. Right. Exactly, Susan. I'll only be on for another 10 minutes, then I'm going to go and sort food out. We're having Thai chili chicken with some garlic bread. Who's Shannon, Joe? Shannon is one of the like sciencey lot that Shannon Q, her name is. Yeah, Shannon Q. She's the one that went into the live. She was the one that was talking on that live to Steve, saying, didn't Kyle offer you the money, Steve? And he said yes. And then that's where they all came from then. If he had accepted payment without seeing the books, he could not have read or gated. Which is, I think, what Reds was trying to say, to be honest. I think that's why Reds popped in. Because if you notice on lives when he's talking about these things, he's always got people like Chesh and Reds with him. Because Steve comes across and tries to portray that he is very intelligent, but he speaks on emotions and they will always be there. Like I used to call Cheshire the cleanup lady, because she would always go behind Steve's F-ups and start sweeping up and making everything nice and pretty again. But I will admit that I don't like them, so I've already got a bit of a what's the word, like my automatic reaction is not to believe a word they say, or to not give them the benefit of the doubt, as they like. No, what do they say? Not the benefit of the doubt. What do they say? I can't remember the words they used to say now. But that was I'm biased. Yeah, I am completely biased to my opinions, just because of all the stuff that they've done to me and their little like hang, like with the whole moon stuff. You know, I had so much shit off them because of the moon stuff. And then to come out a year later that it was all dab lies, you know? It's just weird to me. Joe's on my time. Yeah, I'm on Ria's time. Well, Ria's just an hour ahead of me. But it's like 7 o'clock and I'm going to eat some chicken and garlic bread and some chunky wedges just because, well, you know, you've got to be fat. But I'll definitely, Mother of Funk will send it to me for sure, and then I can rewatch it just to make sure that I am right. I totally believe all until I went on and rewatched The Death of Non Sequitur. That changed my opinion. Is that still up, Funk? If that's still up, I wouldn't mind having a watch. I could watch that while I'm eating because I'll be getting off in a minute. But I would. Is that still up? If that's still up, I wouldn't mind watching it. I think if it wasn't for other people like Redrick and stuff behind Steve, I think he would have just gone off and done what he needed to do and just carried on. Yeah, I will 100% it. Thank you. I wouldn't mind watching that. I haven't watched it yet. But my thing as well with all of this is that Ruif, like, what is wrong with him? Like, in my opinion, there's got to be something wrong with that man. You've just, like, literally gone to the fucking shitter and piled a big load of shitty money down into the toilet for a channel that's dead. Nothing's going to make that channel come back. I need to go for a walk with my dog too. Have a great day, Joe. Thank you for the live, Joe. You're awesome. Thank you, Susan. Hi to Little and Big Jackal. Hey, Ria. Yeah, I'm getting off as well. I've got to have some food and go and walk. My little shit fuck. Ruif wanted to pursue the suit so he can bring criminal charges. That's just ridiculous. I do honestly, like, Steve sat there on that AZ's channel yesterday and turned around and said, oh, it's $150,000 judgment. Dude, you know damn well you're not going to get 150,000. He hasn't got $150 to wipe his ass. Like, seriously. Ugh. Aki V. Aki V. It's just Aki V. I think Ruif just like he could have put that into Steve's channel, his new channel, and just like made Steve something like, done good, got good people on, and all this different thing, and made a new channel be such like the best debate channel out there, like the best science, the best non sequitur point 2.0 or whatever, by just putting all that money into Steve and Steve's channel. But instead, he's just pissed it down the toilet. It's not about the judgment, it's about the criminal charges. But why does he care? Like, why do you care about sending somebody to jail? Like, over something as dumb as this? That's my issue. Like, why? I don't get it. Isn't there enough people are saying all the time, and it's the same in this country, our jails and our prisons are fucking chock-a-block. We are letting child peas out because there isn't enough places in there, and people want to ram it with somebody who's took a channel. Like, to me, that just seems so dumb. Like, it really does. It's literally theft, Joe. No, I get that, but it wasn't his channel. Like, it wasn't. He started the channel. There was people on before Steve and after Steve and during Steve. None of them decided to do the court thing. Do you know what I'm saying? And he had the chance to the money. He had that chance. I don't know. I'm definitely going to watch them, though, Funk. I'm going to get off anyway because I'm going to go to sort food out. But definitely send them, and I promise I'll rewatch them. And on my next live, I will definitely say if I've changed my mind, or if I've changed my mind on something else, or if I was wrong on something, and we'll debate it again, girl. Anyway, thank you everyone for joining. I do appreciate you all, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye, guys.